Welcome everyone. In this video, we're going to play some more games with the BizBunk deck. The list we'll be using today is the one that Saurez used to win the North American Zonal Championships. There are several different ways to build BizBunk, and this list is definitely a proactive list that's really focused on forwarding your own game plan. So what we have is we have a lot of the cards that are really focused on cycling through your deck as quickly as possible. So we've got the Study All Night, running 3 copies of that, the Overwhelm with Knowledge, the Penguin Who's Okay. We also are running pretty much a decked out removal package. So we're running 4 copies of AdventureSquad, 4 popcorns, and 4 GotEms. Now we are not playing any Have a Philosophical Debate, which some people do. But again, right, that card works against your game plan because you end up shuffling cards back into your deck. And so this is really the one that's just trying to forward your own game plan. We're also running 4 NotaRodAnymores to protect your Ascending Penguins from GotEm. The way this deck plays is not much different from the way I had it for the deck guide that I made for this list, which I'm going to link down below. The one card choice that is missing from this deck list that's often seen is Purple Mega Penguin. So we're playing 0 copies of that, which again, Purple Mega Penguin I think is a really good card in certain matchups, but it is a little bit slow. And so this deck basically just says like, I don't need to get anything out of my ice because I'm just going to draw through my deck quickly in order to get the pieces I need. But all right, let's jump into some games and see how it goes. All right, taking a look at the first game. So, yeah, I do think like we would keep Penguin Who's Okay with BrainyPenguin. So, right, ideally we want ascending penguins, but I think that if you have this combo, like I think Penguin Who's Okay, I would keep, and then BrainyPenguin I would only keep if I had Penguin Who's Okay. Also, the way that the timer works is right, you get the faster you go in early turns, the more time you get later. So I am going to play a little quickly through the early turns without explaining my moves too much, just because I'm worried about running out of the timer, like having the timer be shortened. So anyway, so right, okay, so we're playing some sort of Bash Globe deck. And so with a Bash Globe deck, the most important cards are the removal, so the Adventure Squad, as well as a Bashful Swordsman, because what they're going to try to do is play Snow Globe to lock out the game. And so, right, we really just want to get like Bunkus is kind of useless unless you're going for the final combo. So we're going to really be looking for the Swordsman removal and then also having as much purple pudge on the board as possible. So let's see. So it's a little right, because they might play, what's it called? Popcorn Penguin. So that's only downside of playing out into this that we might get into Popcorn Penguin, but yeah. So we do wanna just kind of also hold back the purple pudge in our hand. So we do have the Bismo, which is kind of nice for that. And, but yeah, we just need to constantly be thinking about what are we gonna do about Snow Globe. So assuming they don't play a Popcorn here, if they play a Popcorn, we'll just outlast it. Okay, so Green Mega. So this is then some sort of caffeine variant. So maybe this isn't actually playing a Snow Globe. But anyway, okay, so this is pretty good from the standpoint of, so what should we play as a rod? I guess we'll play a, I guess I don't think we're going to need, maybe we'll keep both Study All Nights. Let's see. No, I think it's going to be very unlikely that we'll use both Study All Nights. So we're going to use the Brainy Penguin now in order just to get Bunkus, and yeah, we'll keep that. Um, did we play a rod already? Yeah. So we're kind of already in a good spot to, so we'll play the ascending next turn. And then as long as I can survive, we should be able to pull off the combo the following turn at the rate we're cycling. And okay, so in the action time, we'll play Study All Night. Again, we're just trying to hyper get through our deck as quickly as possible. So this is like kind of the dream start for the super cycle version. And so let's see here. Okay, so now, okay, so we don't need Bismo, right? Oh, well, let's actually get rid of what? I think it's good not to put the Bismos in the ice again, because if Snow Globe comes down, it'll be nicer to have the purple pudge in our hand, as well as to protect against misplace a little bit. Although I guess with misplace, you almost never target Bismo. Okay, so if we play the ascending next turn and it sticks, I think we'll be in a very good place. I do maybe regret not keeping the other Study All Night. I think it would have been better to have Study All Night instead of this Overwhelm with Knowledge in our hand. Because if we had the other Study All Night, we could have just ripped through another full set of cards. Because right, our final combo is going to be ascending, getting the Penguin Who Breaks the Fourth Wall on, and then just doing the full combo. Okay, so well we can't. So they're okay. So they're going all in. So okay, so we do have the GotEm for the popcorn, which I think at this point we kind of okay. So we're gonna have to GotEm the popcorn. So I think right. So we yeah. So our plan will be to remove the popcorn, but we definitely can't play ascending this turn. So I think we might as well play the brainy. because we can get rid of a Bismo and this Overwhelm with Knowledge. I think just to keep hypercycling. Um, okay, so this and this. Okay, cool. But we already played a Rod, so we're already at 19 cards in our ice. So I think we should be in a really good space when we play the Ascending next turn to then just kind of pop off the turn after. But okay, so let's. So I guess if they have a not a Rod anymore, that's going to be a little bit painful for us. All right, so they get rid of our Pudge, which is interesting that they're not getting rid of the Penguin who's okay. But okay, so let's get rid of the popcorn. If they have the not a rod anymore, that's definitely going to mean that we're going to have to win in one turn, which is definitely a bit more challenging because right, then we shouldn't have used this rod because to win in one turn we need to have 6 rods. So I guess if they save the popcorn penguin, we're going to have to be in a situation where we're going to play Bunkus. Oh, they'll use the success penguin. Okay. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Okay. So that is a little unfortunate. We'll draw a card at least with the overwhelm with knowledge. But yeah, so okay, so the question is, do we need to yeah, so do we need to just play the ascending penguin in order to get out a big yeah, in order to get out a big bunkus? Cuz right, we could do that next turn, but that to then win the vibe check. But right, then the popcorn penguin is going to remove our stuff. So, yeah, it's a little unfortunate. So we have what? We have 2 more turns cuz they have 10. If they play a snow globe, we don't really have a good answer to that right now. So we really would like a what's it called? Okay, so we could play an ascending this turn, right? Because we could play the ascending to just win the vibe check, but I guess maybe I want them to draw as few cards as possible. So right, if I play the ascending, okay, so now we're never getting rid of this popcorn unless we get Adventure Squad. Okay, so we have another brainy penguin. So I guess we can just cycle some more. I don't really think we'll need the um yeah, I guess we can just get rid of the not a rod anymore is not so important. So should we just play the penguin who's okay? No, okay. So I think we do this. I think we just keep cycling. Okay, we have our own popcorn, but that really doesn't help. Yeah. So what are we even? So we're actually maybe even at a point where we can end this without. Well, I guess if we play the bunkus now, we would win the vibe check, which would then allow us to next turn. Yeah, but I want them to have as few cards as possible because if they get like a caffeine or something, hmm. Yeah, this is interesting. So maybe I should play the bunkus just to get the popcorn out next turn. Um, well, no, if I play the bunkus, the next turn I can do ascending. Yeah, I think if I do the bunkus, okay, so I want to put back the what's, the 1, 2, 3, and then all actions 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. I'm sure I did this wrong. I don't know if this was necessary because now basically, yes, I'm trying to win the vibe check here. No, but I can't win next turn. So this was definitely wrong. Because the idea of this was that we can win next turn, but now we actually can't win next turn because we're at 19. And now we actually hand initiative over to them. That was a terrible play. Okay. So I strongly regret that play. But at the very minimum, I think, well, now if they get a snow globe, we are not going to be able to win, right? So if they get a snow globe, they will win. Plus, we don't even have time to react to it. So I give that play an F in terms of um. So yeah, so there's nothing we can do about a snow globe at this point. So I think I'll just play the popcorn and the I guess I'll play the penguin who's okay. Maybe I don't need 2 ascending penguins because if I do I need 2 ascending penguins? No, I think if I'm around next turn, I'll win. So if they don't have snow globe, I'll be able to win next turn. But is that true? Yeah, that should be true. Yeah, I think without the snow globe will win next turn. Because we'll be able to do ascending into the fourth wall. Okay, good. So we'll be able to win this. But yeah, I don't. Okay, well, we got rid of their popcorn one way or the other. But okay, so now we win the vibe check. Now we're gonna have 8 rods, which means we can go ascending into fourth wall into Bismo or into like Bunkus, Bismo. Okay, so something else I like to do with BizBunk is before the final turn, just to plan everything out. Because right, we can use this timer time here without having the final timer. So basically, right, we're gonna have 6 rods. We're gonna win one from the vibe check, which is 7, and then one more with the card we draw, which is 8. So then we have our 8 rods are gonna be ascending, Bismo, and fourth wall. So then we basically do ascending into fourth wall, into playing the Bunkus over and over again until we deck ourselves. And then we play the Bismo. So we're good for the final combo. So but yeah, so that play of playing the Bunkus the turn before, I'm not sure about. Although it did turn out to go well, but we did open ourselves up to lose to Snow Globe. So again, I'm not sure if this deck runs Snow Globe, but either way, now we'll be able to have it. Okay, so again, we get the Penguin who's okay. So we're gonna play this as a rod first, then we're gonna play Ascending Penguin, then we're gonna play fourth wall. We're gonna remove 2 cards from the left of the ice just to make sure that we end up. Then we still have 2 left for Bismo, which is good. We're gonna get rid of those cards. Okay, now we're gonna grab Bunkus, play Bunkus, and we're gonna get rid of all the actions and what's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Double check that we're at 12. Okay, good. 28 cards getting removed. So 14 cards will get off. So we're definitely not gonna hit everything, but we'll hit the what's, and now the next one will be bigger. All right, and now we'll do the whole thing again. Does the timer reset? Yes, the timer reset, which is good. So we'll grab the next Bunkus. Okay, so we need to grab the what's first. So they're there at the top of the deck. 1, 2, 3, then 4. Get all the actions. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 12 is good. Perfect. Now this one's 36. We have 19 cards in our deck, so this should be it, right? Because 36 divided by 2 is 18, which would leave us with 1 card in our deck. We have 3 what's, so 1 card in our deck. The 3 what's trigger. 3 cards are going to get removed, but there aren't even 3. And now Bismo will come in for the win. All right, so this is a kind of a, I always like putting the Bismo on the right just in case there's 1 card left in the deck. I think it's good to just build that muscle to always do that. And so this was just a clinical BizBunk game. So again, right, what happened is they didn't really have a good way to deal with it. We had enough time. They didn't have the super fast start. So we basically, had they had a snow globe that one turn, we would have been in trouble. So I definitely think I played this wrong. I played the turn where I played the Bunkus out. I don't think that was right. I think maybe I should have played a ascending and then the Bunkus maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly. I didn't really think this through. Again, I'm definitely not a BizBunk expert, so I struggle sometimes with this deck, and I will never say I'm as good as the top players with it. So anyway, but okay, first game was good. All right, so let's jump into the next one. All right, jumping into the next game. All right, so full mulligan here. Right, with this deck, you definitely don't want to keep the GotEms in the mulligan. Maybe if I knew I was playing BizBunk, I would consider it. But right, we just really want to kind of forward our own game plan. So we're looking for what are we looking for? The kind of the ascending penguins for sure. Yeah. Okay, so we have the BrainyPenguin. So maybe we would cycle out, but I think the other thing with the BrainyPenguin is it's a really good way to um sorry, okay, let's think about the rod real quick. So I guess we'll use the yeah, without knowing what it is, I think I'd rather keep the popcorn than the adventure squad. So I think I'll use the adventure squad as a rod. No, okay, so that was a mistake. I regret that because if we were playing against green, Adventure Squad is really good because Brainy Penguin into Ascending Penguin can be good to defend against green. So Popcorn is good against yellow or against BizBunk. So I guess Overwhelm with Knowledge probably would have been the better rod. So Brainy Penguin, right? So the Bunkus is 1 card to discard with it. So we kind of want to try to see if we can get another good card to discard. We could discard the Overwhelm with Knowledge. But okay, so let's see. So they didn't play anything on turn 2. Okay, so this is perfect. So you want to definitely discard both of these. So now I think the Overwhelm with Knowledge will be the good rod because if this is a BizBunk, then we want to save the popcorn for sure for ascending. Yeah, so one of the reasons I don't really want to play, I don't know if I want to play Brainy next turn because that means I'll start winning the vibe check, and losing the vibe check is much better for this deck because you get more cards and more options. And you don't really need that many rods. I mean, you can get to six, but you usually need around six, but you can get to six naturally. So let's see. Okay, so because we're not going to win the vibe check here, and this is some sort of blue deck. Okay, so we'll use the Brainy Penguin now for sure. And then I played the what's it called? I played the Bunkus as the rod, just because the Penguin who might bring the fourth wall will pull it out later. Not sure if that's right because hmm, yeah, because the popcorn is going to be pretty useless. Although the popcorn might be able to remove an opposing popcorn. So at this point, okay, so Adventure Squad is a very important card because this is probably some sort of snow globe deck. So we want this other Adventure Squad. So I like always organizing my rods so that the left two are the ones that Penguin who breaks the fourth wall will pull because that's going to basically I don't need to think anymore. And so the two cards I definitely want to pull are Adventure Squad, so I can shuffle that back in my deck. Um, and so the question is, do we just throw the Ascending Penguin out there this turn? And I think we probably do because we're gonna at least get the fourth wall off. Um, oh, yeah, and I got the overwhelm with knowledge. Okay, okay. So this is different. So this is Blue Mill. All right. So when we play Blue Mill, I've been playing this matchup as like this kind of like mid rangey purple setup where yeah. So the way that I've been playing this, okay. So we'll definitely play GotEm as the rod. And so the question is, do we want to play Ascending Penguin? Because I've just kind of just been keeping my ice empty using the bunkuses, and it's been not a problem. Now, I think there's one thing where I don't really like that I have a bunkus in my ice right now because that means misplaced can target it. So I'm wondering if there's a way I can get that out of there. But okay, so I don't really. Do I want to play the ascending? I guess I can play the ascending. Maybe I'll be able to. I just need to be careful with it. Because, right, that's gonna make it difficult to keep my ice low, but I think maybe this will trigger some removal from their part, or if they just leave the ascending on the board, then I can just win out of nowhere. Okay, good. So that just kind of got the removal out of the way. So let's just draw some cards. And yeah, so the kind of way we're gonna play this is, yeah, we're gonna just try to keep our ice empty and just play the bunk is kind of just out as kind of an ice removal tool. And right, we need to be careful about misplace. Well, but there's nothing we can do about misplace at this point, right? Because right, they'll have six rods next turn, so they can hit Bunkus with misplace for sure. And so, in that case, we'll need Adventure Squad to misplace, which means we need one more purple pudge somehow, which could be the Penguin who breaks the fourth wall. So, okay, Bashful Swordsman can be useful in this matchup, I guess. But yeah, okay. So Blue Mill is definitely something I'm not hyper familiar with. But I think in general, I want to just get as many rods out. And I don't really know if winning with a combo is that important. But yeah, misplace, we're definitely thinking about that. So if misplace comes down, we'll try to remove it with Adventure Squad. And we do have the NotaRodAnymore so that if they got him, the Brainy Penguin on the other side of it, we should probably be okay. Okay, so yeah, so we're going to get hyper cycled here. So I do kind of want to start winning the vibe check. Okay, so I guess we can play the popcorn this turn though. Okay, so what do we want as a rod? Um, so do I want to? Yeah, because I don't really. The adventure squads should be more for misplace. So I'll play the not a rod anymore because that will be potentially useful. And I guess I'll just play the popcorn now, just because it's gonna at least remove the penguin who's okay, which will buy me some more time to kind of. Because I think the slower this goes, the better we'll be. So we can just remove that, and then because I like okay, so the fourth wall is good, but I wanna not have bunkus in my ice because if to kind of prevent misplace from being able to target bunkus. And so, am I able to just kind of play this bunkus out next turn? Probably not, right? I probably don't have quite enough in my ice yet. So, okay, so the ingenious idea. All right, so um hmm. Okay, so so we're gonna win the vibe check, so that's nice. Because I think as long as we just keep getting rods kind of played out, we'll be in a good position. So I do wonder, right? You can go too overboard with getting your ice empty as well, because then you could just lose to more traditional approach. But okay, so yeah, so Bunkus. Okay, so if I'm gonna have 7 rods, yeah, so I can't even play Bunkus next turn to try to avoid misplace. But I do also wonder if they're playing misplace because Ingenious Idea is just not a common card played in Blue Mill. So this might just be some sort of more modified blue starter deck. And if that's the case, then maybe there's not that many misplace in there. But okay, so to deal with misplace either way, I want to have purple pudge on the board, which again the Bunkus I guess would provide. But yeah, okay, so um, hmm. So I could, right? Well, I can always get the other Bunkus back with the Overwhelm with Knowledge. So the question is, do I want to play the Penguin who breaks the fourth wall? But I don't think so. I think I'll just slowly, yeah. Because what am I going to Adventure Squad? There's nothing yet really I need to Adventure Squad. So I think I'll just wait. I guess there's no rush. But yeah, okay. So this is a tricky balancing game. But I guess if I get a full hand with this many rods, I'll just be able to pull off the combo in one turn anyway. Okay, so they're okay. So I think that was just a mistake because they're just playing right into the popcorn. Um, okay, yeah, I'm not sure why they did that because they could have just let the popcorn fizzle and play it next turn. So okay, so I think we're in a good spot either way. Um, yeah, let's see. So we could end up drawing a lot of cards here. So I do want to start winning the vibe check. So I think next turn I will play the bunkus. Um, but I think kind of just preventing them from winning their game plan by just removing the penguin who's okay with the popcorn. I think that has been very helpful. Um, and I think if that ascending would have stuck by now, we'd probably be able to kind of close out the game. But okay, so they're gonna do another ingenious idea. So that will be fine. I don't really see a that doesn't really help because from a card advantage perspective, it's neutral. And okay, so we win another vibe check. So now the question is, do we just play bunkus? Because we're gonna have so many rods. Because there's a point too when we can just right. Because if we get another, oh, we don't even have Bismo either. Like we have like none of the combo pieces. Okay, we continue to not get the combo pieces, and so yeah. Okay, so we could play the fourth wall, I guess. What does that? How does that help us? So the fourth wall doesn't really help us. Bunkus. Okay, so Bunkus would be 9. Would require putting 3 away. But the fourth wall would mean we'd at least win the vibe checks, which I guess we want to do. Yeah, so is this fourth wall now? Although I guess, like, drawing cards is not bad right now. I guess we just yeah, there's no rush. Um, although I guess I do wanna just kind of guarantee to win the vibe checks, I think. And we'll do well, I kind of wanna keep Adventure Squad out of the ice. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think about what I don't want in the ice from a misplaced perspective. And, yeah, so I think like this. Um, yeah, because okay, so I wanna win the vibe check, I think, so that I can just kind of get more rods out because at the end of the day, if I have a lot of rods, I can do a bigger one turn combo win. I also like the idea of having 2 purple pudge so that I can do something with Adventure Squad. Because yeah. So the reason you want to get as many rods out as possible is just because we need all this pudge because of Orb of Hopium. Or like just the penguin with hoops, just drawing in general. Like we want to just be able to play everything. Do I just no, I adventure no, because I want to win the vibe check. Okay. So this next turn, I'm going to probably bunkus. But again, right, they still don't even have anything to put stuff in my ice. And so if I empty my ice too much, I'm going to end up in a situation where I can't even win the bunkus will be too small. I mean, the fourth wall is still a 9 vibe penguin, which is pretty big relative to what blue usually has. But yeah, I do want like the adventure squad in case I have like a title penguin or a misplace or maybe, like a mischief or something. So, Yeah, again, I'm pretty unfamiliar with this matchup. In general, I do pretty well with it. I think the one thing is I do try to go more for this like mid-range purple approach in this matchup than a like just try to combo. Also, I haven't seen Ascending Penguin. Okay, so we have another Bunkus. So we have this fourth wall. Okay, so there's the Ascending. So I think if I can get the fourth wall into the ice, well, maybe because maybe I'll get a Study All Night. Well, I think we'll do this. I think we'll play this. Okay, so right. So can we win in one turn? Probably not yet, but we're getting close. So let's see. Yeah, so if I want to get the fourth wall to the ice, but okay, so they do have this orb of hopium. So I could just but if I go like ascending with swordsman, wait, if I go ascending, swordsman, yeah, so I think maybe next turn. Next turn will be good. I think I just pass again. I'm not sure. I'm really unfamiliar. Like maybe I'm just gonna lose. That's one of the things I'm thinking about. Like, do I just straight up lose if they just play out like 4 permanents somehow? Blue Mega Penguin. Okay. This is this is a spicy blue deck. Um all right, so they're gonna I'm not even sure what's gonna happen here. Okay. So this one I'm wondering if I should Adventure Squad. Just because they're clearly trying to do some sort of combo here. Um but also like I think I can win next turn probably. I think I'll overwhelm with knowledge. Wait, no. Okay, so next turn I'm gonna have how many rods? So 4, then 3. Yeah, but it's just not enough to win, I think. So I need to get a slightly bigger ice, but I'm worried about yeah, I have so many adventure squads, I think, but then I'm gonna lose the vibe check. But there's really no yeah, okay, so I think yeah, let me just hmm. I think I'll just pass again. I really do ugh, no, I probably should adventure squad the blue mega penguin. Because I don't know what their plan is, but it clearly revolves around this. So yeah, okay. So if they pass it back to me, I'm gonna adventure squad the blue mega penguin because I'm not sure what their plan is, but it could be yeah. There's some reason that they're playing this card for sure. Um. Okay, so now they do ingenious idea. Okay, so now I will adventure squad the blue mega penguin. Okay, because this way I'll still also I won't lose the vibe check. We'll just tie the vibe check. So I think that again, I don't know. I don't think blue mega penguin is good right now. I think that it's one of these cards that's gonna be broken at some point, but I don't think it has the support it needs right now. So, but that being said, again, I don't really know all of the intricacies of Blue Mega Penguin, so I think we'll just get rid of it to be safe. Um, so okay, so then like they also have a giant hand. Um, so yeah, okay, so this next turn I'm gonna do something. But right, they could have send it too hard. So I don't really want my ice to be too big. So but okay, so I have how many rods do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm gonna have 10 after I play a rod, which means I can do ascending bashful. That would get me to 16 cards in ice plus 1 extra rod because the Bunkus costs 12 and I need 2 for Biz. Oh, I don't even have Bismo in my hand. Okay. So there really is no point to try to win the traditional way until I get a Bismo in my hand. Okay, so I think we'll still play an ascending this turn, I think. Um, yeah, maybe we do an ascending, we play a rod, and then we play the Bunkus. And we need to put at least 6 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah, we'll play it like this. And have no ice. Ah, there was a Bismo at the top of our deck. Oh, I guess that would have become a rod. Okay, so now, um, okay. Well, what does this even mean here? Okay, so they're gonna play the popcorn and the oh, because I'm at 14 already. I think we're just gonna win this kind of the traditional way. Um, right, so we could just, like, drop, like, double swordsman, right? Do we wanna adventure squad something, or I think we could got him the popcorn just because, right, the popcorn is gonna be kind of a problem for us because it'll get rid of the brainy next turn. And, okay, so wow, they really have a lot of ingenious ideas here. So they're really trying to set up for some sort of combo, but I'm not really sure what that combo is. So this is definitely some sort of wonky combo deck. And the problem is because I don't know what the combo is, I'm not sure the right way to play around it. But I'm kind of okay, so I kind of just want to be prepared for whatever comes out because this is the turn I can just win the traditional way, right? Because I'm going to have 12 permanents. I'm going to have 14 after I play my rods. And so then I can kind of just play double swordsman, for example. Or I could do like ascending double swordsman. I want to make sure not to be so I don't want to lose ascended too hard. So I want to stay well above the 15 mark. So let's see. Okay, so we'll play. Okay, I guess we can play a penguin who's okay. Do we do like that? I guess we can play the what as the rod. And then do we play one? No, because if we play ascending swordsman, I think we just play double swordsman. I have no idea if this is right. Um, but okay, so we're not trying to win with like the combo. We're just saying like, can you handle this board? Because yeah, okay, so they're gonna rod of cheesy slices, but with 7 fish, what can they do really? Because they can't get us to send it to hard level. Um, okay, maybe they could, right? If they have like a few what a twists. But okay, so we're gonna use Adventure Squad though. And we're gonna start icing them. 'Cause I don't really want I'm just worried about or worried about send it too hard. It's okay, right? We're gonna win the game if we win the vibe check. If they activate Mischief, we'll Adventure Squad Mischief. Um, and that will be so that will prevent that from being an issue. Because right, they could maybe get us to 15 with like Mischief, What a Twist, Mischief, Penguin with Hoops or something. But yeah, so we'll get rid of the Mischief. Um, using our Adventure Squad. So that should be able to get the Mischief off the board. So even if they have some sort of like What a Twist shenanigans, we'll be fine. And that should keep us safely off the 15 cards in our ice that are required for um okay, bedtime story. Is there any can we get around this? I mean, we could use all 4. No, even if we use all 4 not around anymore, we can't get around it. So but the good news is now they're out of pudge, right? They won't have the pudge in order to do send it too hard. Because if they do yeah, so I guess they could do if they do what a twist. Okay, well either way, looks like it was fine. So, okay, so this was some sort of weird blue combo deck. I don't really know what the combo was. We never really got that, but I'm sure whatever it was going to be powerful. But right, we were able to just kind of sit back, and they never got their combo assembled, and we just kind of played a more traditional game. And the reason I didn't really want to try to go all in on icing myself is right against blue that can be very dangerous. And so I think it's better against blue to kind of play the game in this type of way. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's jump to the next game. All right, jumping into the next game, looking at the mulligan, we'll get rid of everything just because, right, we're really looking for ascending and the penguin who's okay. Um, yeah, we are playing Starburst again, who we played in the first game. So I think they're probably playing that like green mega penguin type deck. So maybe we could have kept the adventure squad, but I think even that it's not a good keep. Because it wasn't even like if I knew this was like a Bash Globe deck, sure, but we didn't even see any evidence of Bash Globe. All right, so we've got all right, we've got pretty much none of the cards we need. So we'll be playing a much slower start, which is not ideal. But okay, so against the green mega caffeine, if we can kind of explode all out on one turn, then we should be able to like overpower the too much caffeines that come out. But again, right, we really would like a penguin who's okay. Okay, I'm gonna keep this in my hand to go with a study all night. I definitely don't need 2 popcorn penguins, so that'll be okay. So, okay, so I really yeah, so what do I need? I need ascending penguin, and we need a what's it called? Um, yeah, brainy penguin could even help here, and penguin who's okay could work too. So, but okay, so at its core, all right. So yeah, so now okay, so this is gonna make it even harder because we don't have yeah, we don't have what's it called? Okay, so popcorn. Maybe I'll keep the popcorn. Although double bashful could be useful. I guess the overwhelm with knowledge probably won't get played. So I guess I'll play that as a rod. Um hmm. Yeah, so okay, so is there any way yeah, okay. So yeah, so we really need ascending, I guess. And brainy because with how else are we going to get the penguin who breaks the fourth wall into the ice? So I guess with the study all night, but we need two purple pudge to do that. I guess I could play a bashful swordsman out on the board and just flop it myself. Um, maybe that doesn't hurt from a like just to have it on the board for later because I could flop it with the too much caffeine every turn. So that's maybe not an end of the world. It kind of shows my hand a little bit, but I have 3 of them in my hand. I don't actually know if that's helpful because okay, so well, we're gonna need to yeah, okay, so we're not gonna do that. We're gonna play the ascending penguin this turn for sure. And then hmm, yeah, next turn we'll play a swordsman. So hopefully they don't have a GotEm or they don't get a popcorn. Because right, if they get a popcorn, it's gonna be not ideal. But yeah, okay, so we're gonna just go basically swordsman into swordsman into swordsman. Um, so okay, so yeah, I'd like to get a study all night off to get the fourth wall. Okay, is there anything? Okay, so I have this, so I can next turn. Okay, so I'll definitely play the penguin who breaks the fourth wall as a rod, because that could help me get a bunkus out. Um, but okay, so let's see. So I have 2 more turns basically, right? Because they're gonna be at 12 this turn, and if they draw a popcorn here, it's gonna be not good for us. Um, so yeah, so popcorn is gonna be the biggest problem. Okay, caffeine. Okay, we're gonna have to fight through a lot of caffeines here. So that's definitely gonna be a bit difficult. But the good news is we have a bunch of bashful swordsmen. So okay, so we'll play the bashful swordsman. Um, but next turn we're gonna play 2 swordsmen, I guess, right? So I don't even know. I mean, I'll still play this as a rod. But yeah, so next turn we'll play 2 swordsmen and then bunkus, a bunch of bunkus. So we should be able to just explode out on the board next turn. We'll have to make sure to manage our ice properly. Um, because basically the idea is we just want to get all of our bunkus out on the board, all of our bunkai. Um, okay, so yeah, so let's really think through this next turn. Because the issue is if I go swordsman into swordsman, what is going to happen? If we go swordsman into swordsman, we're going to have 14 cards in our ice, which is 14 additional. That's 25, and then we can just kind of go bunkus. Yeah, infinite bunkus, and I think maybe we shuffle back some. Yeah, we shuffle back some. What's it called? Well, I'm just worried about. I'm worried about ending up with no cards in my deck because I want to basically play every single. I want to play every single bunkus I have this turn. I think, and just kind of win the vibe check way. Okay, so we'll start. Okay, so we're definitely starting with 1 swordsman, and then the question is, do we play the next? Do we play a? Yeah, I think let's just play a bunkus now. Let's play 1 bunkus first, and we'll put back. Okay, so we'll put back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, um, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we'll play another swordsman. Um, because we're gonna need to play, right? We're gonna need to win the vibe check, which means we need at least. Well, I guess we can win the vibe check with this. But okay, so we can play. So we'll win the vibe check here, I guess. So do we just want to stop here? Um, no, I think I'll play one more. Let's just play one more. Okay, what do we need in our deck? We need the Bismos. 1, 2, 3, 4, um, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12. Yeah, let's do 2. Again, this is. How many is this gonna have? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I think this is probably good enough. 14. Yeah, that's good enough. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have as many Overwhelm with Knowledge still in my deck. Because right, like if I get a. So right now, this turn, if I get a what's it called? Okay, and should I use the Adventure Squad for something? Hmm. Oh, I can't. I'm not gonna have Pudge anyway, right? Because they're gonna flop all of my. Yeah. Okay. So all right. So because right, if I could get a Bismo, so maybe I should have played one more. Because right, if I get a Bismo, I can win the game. But yeah. So that's just not happening, right? Right. So if I draw a Bismo, I guess I could have used the Overwhelm with Knowledge. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So do I want to? Because right, if I draw a Bismo, I win the game. Okay. Because I could also just, yeah. So let's take at least one draw at this. Because so what do I lose to? Right? Because I would lose if they got a Bashful Swordsman and a What a Twist or something like that. I might lose. So okay. So there's a Bismo. Okay. Perfect. That's exactly what we needed. So we should be able to now win next turn easily, right? Yeah, this looks like the type of hand where we can easily pull off the combo because we win the vibe check, which is good. And yeah, so now we'll be able to pull off the combo, right? Because now we'll just be able to do the swordsman. We just make sure to, yeah, so we'll make sure to, okay, so we're going to have 7. Can we do the fourth wall as well? I think so. Let's just, so let's play the what on the left. Okay, so first we play with the swordsman. Okay, so we do that. Yeah, so now we can also do the fourth wall. Yeah, then we'll do the fourth wall, and then we'll do Bismo. We'll do this. Okay, we'll get rid of these 2. Still have 2 rods left, which is perfect. And do we actually need to do another Bunkus or not? Nope. All right, cool. And that's the end. All right. So again, right, I think this type of caffeine deck, even with all those caffeines, we were able to power through it just because they weren't able to answer the Ascending Penguin. So cool. All right. So anyway, so there we go. So we played 3 games today. We won all 3 of them. And I think this just shows kind of the power of Bismo, which is in all those games, right? The opponent kind of just had a bit of a slower game. And that's the type of game that BizBunk just does so well at because, right, if they give you a little bit of room, you just go like crazy and you just win all sorts of games. Like, right, because you just have this like constant clock. And so it's like it really punishes like mediocre hands and draws of mediocre decks. So, anyway, thanks everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.